All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are tackling a big one, that monster that gets us all from time to time, procrastination. And we're not just going to talk about it, we're going to build a real, actionable game plan to finally beat it.
Okay, I want you to be really honest with yourself for a second. Does this scenario sound just a little too familiar?
You know the feeling. You've got your coffee, you're at your desk, you're feeling motivated. You tell yourself, okay, today is the day. This gets done. No excuses.
And then it happens. That little voice in your head pops up. I'll just check my email real quick, just to clear it out. And of course, in that email, there's a link to a video you just have to see. And poof, down the rabbit hole you go.
Next thing you know, hours have vanished. It's lunchtime. And that big, important project, it's still just sitting there staring back at you, completely untouched. And you're just left wondering, what just happened? Well, it turns out there's a very specific chemical culprit behind this whole cycle.
All right, let's pull back the curtain and meet the main character in this whole drama, dopamine. Now, you've probably heard it called the pleasure molecule, but that's actually not the whole truth. Its real job is way more interesting, and it is the absolute key to understanding why we procrastinate. See, from an evolutionary standpoint, dopamine is a hero. It's the chemical that pushed our ancestors to go out and hunt or gather. It gave them the drive, the desire to take action because there might be a reward, like food, at the end of it. It's literally the engine of motivation. And this right here, this is the most important thing to get. We think dopamine is the pleasure we get from eating the cookie. But it's not. It's the chemical that makes you want the cookie in the first place. It's the craving that gets you off the couch into the kitchen. It is the anticipation of the reward, not the reward itself. And that little difference, it changes everything.
So if dopamine is just our natural, built-in motivation software, what's the big deal? Well, the problem is that our modern world has figured out how to hijack that software against us.
And these hijackers are absolutely everywhere. That little red notification bubble on your phone, that's a dopamine hit. The endless scroll on your social media feed, a dopamine hit. That recommended for you video, you guessed it. They are all designed to trigger that anticipation circuit in your brain over and over and over, leaving you in a constant state of wanting.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote is from a former executive at Facebook. He's saying it loud and clear. These systems are intentionally designed to give you tiny, instant rewards. They literally rewire your brain to expect that quick feedback, which makes focusing on a long, difficult task feel almost painful by comparison.
So a really helpful way to think about this is the difference between open systems and closed systems. Open systems, like your email inbox or a social media feed, are infinite. They're designed to keep you there forever. But closed systems, like a blank Word doc or a journal page, they have a clear beginning and a clear end. The secret to beating procrastination is spending way more time in these closed, focused environments. Okay, so our brains are hijacked and overstimulated. I know it sounds a little bleak, but here's the really good news. We can fight back. We can reset the system.
And we do that with something called a dopamine detox. Now that name is a little dramatic. You can't actually get rid of dopamine, and you wouldn't want to. The goal is just to reduce the amount of constant high-level stimulation. You're giving your brain a chance to get bored, to reset its baseline so that normal, hard work starts to feel interesting and rewarding again.
And listen, you don't have to go live in a cave for a month to do this. You can do a full reset for a day or two, or you can just start with a partial detox. Just get rid of your #1 biggest distraction for a while. The key is just to start somewhere. So how do we actually put this into practice? Let's get to the game plan. Here is a super simple 3-step method you can start using literally today.
Okay, step 1, identify. You've got to be brutally honest with yourself. What's your kryptonite? What's that one app or website that always sucks you in? Step 2, add friction. This is huge. Instead of relying on willpower, you just make your bad habits a little bit harder to do. And step 3, maybe the most important of all, start strong. You have to win the morning.
So what does adding friction actually look like? It's genius in its simplicity. You're just making your environment work for you instead of against you. Instead of your phone being right there on your desk, easy to grab, you put it in another room. You have to physically get up to get it. That tiny little bit of effort, that friction, makes a world of difference because our brains are lazy. They will almost always take the path of least resistance. And that brings us back to winning the morning. Think about it. If the very first thing you do when you wake up is grab your phone and open an open system, like social media, you've already lost the battle for your attention for the day. But if you start your day in a closed system, like writing in a journal or working on one specific document, you set the tone for a day of focus and control.
So what does this all boil down to? It's really about recognizing that in this crazy, hyper-stimulated world we live in, your ability to focus, your attention, is your single most valuable asset.
You know, the battle against procrastination isn't really about finding some secret productivity hack. It's much simpler. It's about clearing out the constant noise and distractions so your brain can finally do what it's truly capable of: deep, meaningful, and difficult work.
And that's really the choice, isn't it? Every single moment of every day, we're making this choice. Are you going to be in the driver's seat of your own mind? Or are you going to let an algorithm decide where your attention goes?
So I'll leave you with this question. Not a list of 10 things to do, just one. What is the single, simple change you will make tomorrow morning to start your day in a closed system and take back control of your focus?